What causes people to stay in high control organisations? As someone who used to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I am now a student of psychology. I've actually gone back to university and I am studying degree in psychology with counselling. It always fascinated me what it is that makes people stay even despite cognitive dissonance. So what is cognitive dissonance? Cognitive dissonance is basically where your thoughts and your feelings do not align and you're in an internal conflict with constantly telling yourself one thing despite the fact that you know deep down that it is not true or there's something wrong with it. Cognitive dissonance is what often makes people stay in abusive relationships or situations because they rationalize what is happening regardless of what the facts are saying. So one of the reasons alongside cognitive dissonance that gets people to stay in high control situations and organizations is also a thing called sunk cost fallacy. And sunk cost fallacy is a term used for a situation where a person has spent a significant amount of time investing their energy, investing resources and time into a project or a person, and in this case, into a belief system that if they were to walk away, there'd be very little reward for it or none at all. So the sunk cost fallacy is they carry on investing despite knowing and feeling that there will never be return on investment, or that this return on investment will be significantly smaller than the actual investment by the person themselves. And in all honesty, I actually spent quite a few years knowing that Jehovah's Witness organisation was not the true religion and that their teachings were false and that it wasn't true. And I stayed for at least 4, maybe more years, carrying on, going along with it because of the sunk cost fallacy. I had spent my youth since I was 14 in this organisation. I invested a lot of time, energy, my resources. I was bringing my children into it, and it felt like too much of a loss to just stop. It wasn't until staying would cost me more than leaving that I actually realised that I had to count my losses and just disassociate myself. And one of those things were finding out about the Australian Commission for the child abuse cases in Australia, and realising once I actually approached an elder and spoke about it, and their answer, or rather lack of it, told me everything I needed to know, and I realised that the cost of me staying and allowing my children to be influenced and brainwashed by this organisation was too great, and I disassociated myself, which left me with no support system, no friends, nothing at all, because obviously being a Jehovah's Witness meant I was isolated from the normal world. However, the loss of that was nothing compared to putting my children in danger and carrying on, going somewhere where I no longer even believed it. I just pretended, I really did, for many, many years, and nobody knew. So until the sunk cost fallacy and the cognitive dissonance can no longer function in a person's life and their psyche, they will continue engaging and carrying on and turning a blind eye to things that bother them in order to leave. They will not leave until something changes that invalidates the whole investment into this organisation. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who have doubts will stay, because they do not want to lose their family. They do not want to lose their friends. Even if they do not believe it, they will not speak about it, because it would mean serious repercussions such as disfellowshipping, shunning, and to them their investment, their ties to their family and friends mean more than living a true, authentic life and actually being true to themselves and cutting ties with the organisation that supports child abusers, that lies, that changes their rules as and when it pleases them, and that is really just a business. If you have actually more questions about the psychology of cults, please pop them into the comment section. I'll be very happy to explore them with you as I carry on studying my psychology degree. It's really fascinating for me to learn more about the brain, the mind, how it works, and trauma, as well as psychological manipulation by corporations, businesses, and that includes religion. Thank you for watching.